From my perspective, I'm not like, oh, well, I just have to quit YouTube. Like, that's crazy. No, but potentially, like I've told you guys, I've enjoyed being my own boss for so long. I absolutely, positively could be someone who continues to make content of some capacity forever. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding. It just doesn't have to be a full-time capacity, right? Instead of being the guy who's here 6 days a week full-time playing video games and podcasting, I could be the guy who part-time is doing discussion shows and podcasting and current events and news discussions, and maybe every once in a while casually dabbling in a video game here or there that I really enjoy, but it's not necessarily my full-time thing forever. You know what I'm saying? It's looking like the future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. But again, you know, those things, here's what I found. If you are someone who can sit down at any point in your life and you can look and say, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, here's my plan and I'm sticking to it, you are living a life of luxury. You're living a life of insulation. For the vast majority of my life, I have never known what was going to be happening in just a year or two, let alone 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Take a look at my life. Just look back 5 years before today, right? How different and tumultuous my life was. Another 5 years. Every 5 years, my life has completely changed. So how anyone has this crazy luxury of saying, I'm going to plot out my life, and in 20 years, I'll have a 401k that's fully funded. I'll be able to retire nicely and not make YouTube videos and do that. That's a crazy luxury in life. There's no plan B. I never had an opportunity to have a plan B. Seriously. Like, you're lucky if you're able to do that. Be happy that your parents probably provided you with financial stability in your youth so you could get an education, you could go out and get a great job, and you could have a family right away, and you have stability and all that. A lot of people on this planet don't have that. I've never had that. In my entire life, I've never had that stability. Had never. It's always something fluctuating, uncertain, weird, and different. I didn't choose that life. That's the life that I stumbled into, and the cards that I was dealt, and I'm just doing the best with what's handed to me. You understand? I wish that I could tell you that, yes, I have a 20-year plan that by the time I'm in my early 60s, I have a fully funded 401k and I could stop making YouTube videos entirely and ride off into the sunset of retirement. It's not possible right now. Plan for retirement. Dude, I can't pay my day-to-day bills. Right now, my bank account is overdrawn. I'm not even kidding you. Right now, my bank account is overdrawn. There's no money for retirement. At one point in my life, much earlier in my life, I was saving money for retirement, and that's all been spent because I had to spend so much money to make ends meet out here. So, long-term, yes, maybe. Right now, I'm just trying to get to the point where I'm stable every month, I'm paying all of my stuff, I'm not behind on anything, and I have enough flexibility so that if something goes wrong, like my car breaks down or my fucking tire gets stolen, right? Or I get something breaks in the house, or a piece of equipment breaks, I need to quickly replace it, that I have the flexibility to do that right away. Once I'm to that point, then you can look and say, oh, maybe now I have a little bit extra every month I could put aside for something, right? But right now, I wish I had that. I'm not even to that point of just even Steven before I can start looking to say, oh, there's extra to put aside now. Do you understand? Come fucking... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well, I've got another dollar tip. This doesn't even make sense. Since you're crowdfunded, you have to always depend on people, even if you stop playing games. What could you do to make money for yourself, but also not have to be crowdfunded? Nothing. Literally everything in life is crowdfunding. Literally everything. But if you have your own business, you rely on the customers to come fund your business and buy your product. If you work for a company, you rely on that company to provide a workplace and employment and work to do. Everything is always dependent on something else. There's literally nothing on planet Earth that's 100% dependent on yourself. Doesn't exist. You know me? What compensation do I get? From you. You guys crowdfund me. Unless you're a hermit and you live in the fucking woods and you're chopping the trees down and you're eating squirrels off the tree. But even then, you're dependent on the tree to be there and stay healthy and the squirrel to be there to eat. It just doesn't exist. You're living a fantasy life. Really. You're living a fantasy world. doesn't exist. What you're saying is a myth perpetrated by people who like to feel safe on this planet, when in reality there's no such thing as safety, because at any moment the sun could go supernova and we're all dead. So there's no safety. Space aliens could come down and liquefy us all with a gun in 5 seconds. There's nothing we can do. In life, nothing's certain. No safety. Stop that ridiculous feeling right now. Oh, but what are you going to do to insulate yourself? You can't insulate yourself, ever. Doesn't exist. To do what I love to do, and because you crowdfund me, I'm able to stay true to myself. But if you didn't crowdfund me and instead I relied on, you know, all this income or all this input from companies or sponsors or someone giving me the shit for free, you know what I mean? Because they made it and they want me to kiss its ass, I wouldn't be who I am today. I would be a completely different person. I would probably be Greg Miller. I would probably be these big time fucking streamers who I don't even want to mention their names because they're assholes and they'll probably talk shit about me on social media if I say anything. Anyway, only I 7 did a super chat says go to Kick. I don't see any reason to go to Kick. I enjoy being on YouTube and having my audience here. I have absolutely no aspirations to blow up and make giant money, which it seems like everyone who's running to Kick is exactly what they want. Oh, the Twitch party's over. Run to Kick. That's the new land of milk and honey where you can do whatever you want and make big bucks. Anything for this, right? Why do I need to do that? I'm not looking to do that. I'm not going to ever get virally popular on Kick or anywhere else. I'm happy being who I am with the audience I have. I'm not being complacent. I'm being a realist. These people who jump from trend to trend, this is what they're doing. They're just trying to stay on top of this big money-making game. To them, that's what it is. It's a game. Get the bag. That's not what this is for me. It's not get the bag. If it was get the bag, I would have taken every money-making opportunity I was presented. And if you haven't noticed, I've turned down a lot of them. You see?
Very important. We gotta do things properly here. Make sure we don't make any terrible decisions.